Hey guys, it's Graham. What's cracking? The new Superman trailer dropped this week. I'm not going to do a shot by shot reaction video to it or anything. My main curiosity with this movie has always been what's the story that they're going to tell? With the Brandon Routh movie in 2006 and the Henry Cavill movie in 2013, it felt like both of those attempts were trying to start from the same place as the Christopher Reeve movies from the 70s and 80s, but quote unquote get them right. The 2006 movie Superman Returns kind of ignored Superman 3 and 4, which is great. It was building itself up as more of a sequel to 1 and 2, but that movie had its own narrative and pacing problems, and like the point of it was like there wasn't a really strong takeaway from it. It was kind of a mess. Man of Steel also had its own problems, and with this one, I've gotten the impression right from the beginning that they gave James Gunn the reins, and he said, like, all right, I'm going to specifically do things that haven't been done in a Superman movie before. I feel like he looked at this and said, like, I'm not going to try to reconcile any of the past ones. I'm not going to say, let me take the same approach but get it right. It really feels like he's starting from zero, and since they're scrubbing all of the other superhero projects that they're doing or that they've done in the past and saying, okay, like let's build from the ground up. Like he wanted to really put his own skills to use here. One of the main complaints from Man of Steel was that it was all drab and dour and very Zack Snydery, and everything had a gray scale over the palette. This one, from the first teaser, has been a very colorful and bright and vibrant movie. I also like the fact that it's set in a world where there are already other superheroes. That's going to bring up questions, though, like, okay, is Superman top dog? I mean, if we've got like a late 20s Clark Kent, but an early 50s Guy Gardner Green Lantern, what does that say about the hierarchy? Is Superman still the prime superhero? Where does he fit in all of this? The first teaser didn't give us a whole lot to sink our teeth into, but the opening of this one finally showed us something. Apparently there was a war in some, it looks like maybe an African or Southeast Asian country. It's vaguely like desert with analog military technology, and there's local slightly brownish people there, so it's like, okay, I don't know where this is. I'll get to this in a minute, but I'm specifically not looking up spoilers on this movie. I'm just trying to figure stuff out by seeing the trailers, like look at it from that perspective. But there's a war breaking out there, and apparently Superman jumps in and slaps them both around and says, knock this off, and they do. In this trailer, then, he's being interviewed by Lois Lane, and she's asking about, hey, what you did, why did you do that, what were the problems with that, and he's aggressively defending what he did. Assuming that the script shows all of this in proportionality, I'm going to guess then that he's coming under fire for the perception of his actions. If he's all truth, justice, and the American way, do they view him as America sending an asset in? Lois says the president wants to talk to you. He's got to go talk to SecDef. And what are the repercussions of his actions? What are the ramifications of this? I also don't know if Lex Luthor is president in this one. I feel like the trailer kind of implied that. I don't know. Again, I'm not looking into it. I want to get the story from the story. I don't want to delve into leaks and spoilers and all that stuff. But I want to let the artist present this to me. And so I'm just looking at trailers. Again, I'm not looking into leaks or behind the scenes stuff or even necessarily other criticism of it. All of this is to say that I'm optimistic that we're going to get a really exciting and engaging treatment of Superman on screen, finally, and that there's a strong idea underneath it all. There were some ideas in Man of Steel that were worth exploring, but Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder, he took it to a dumb place with the whole, like, Jonathan Kent telling, like, maybe you should have let those kids die in the bus. Like, what is that? What the hell is that? Shut up. And also don't save me, son, let me die in a tornado. That was stupid and rightly hated. Speaking of Jonathan Kent, I said this in my community post, I'm going to say it again here, like, the casting for Jonathan and Martha Kent, I think, is the only thing that really presents a visual hang-up to me. Not the S logo, not even his suit. People complain about that, whatever, I don't care. um, Zach said that, like, oh, they look like actual Kansas farmers. It's like, yeah, they do, but really the guy, like the poor guy, the actor who they cast to play Jonathan Kent, he looks like Harvey Weinstein. We'll see how the performances go. Like, that's not a huge deal. It's just every teaser that pops up every time I watch it is like, oh yeah, like that's the Kents. That's okay. Odd choice, but we'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. When the first teaser dropped, I said that I wasn't any more or less convinced, or persuaded to see the movie than I had been before. When a still broke last year, I thought it was weird that Superman was sitting there putting his boots on while there was some like cosmic thing happening in the sky. I was like, all right, whatever. Now seeing some of these things in context, again, seeing them more in the way that the artist intended, it looks good. It looks appealing. I want to see this movie. I will be there that weekend to see this movie. An extra boost that I got in my interest is after seeing The Amateur and seeing Rachel Brosnahan in that movie. She plays Lois Lane in Superman. She's a really good actress, and she comes off as kind of like magnetic, both in The Amateur and in the Superman trailer. It's like the way that she plays her characters is like, I want to watch this lady. I want to see what she's doing and where she's taking this. I guess she was really popular in an Amazon show called The Marvelous Miss Maisel, but she plays a female comedian in the 1950s, and there's I checked the IMDb page, and it's like a whole bunch of boobs and swearing, and it was like, yeah, pass on that. But she's a talented actress, and after seeing the way that she played that character in The Amateur, and like, okay, I can see why somebody in a casting room would have put this lady through a couple of script readings and been like, you'll make a really good Lois Lane. So all this is to say that like I'm excited for it. I even have seen a couple of like little clips and shorts and reels and stuff of little interviews with David Corin. David Cornsweet. Let me say his name right. And I think he's a good choice to play Clark Kent, play Superman. Like he's quote unquote one of us. Like he's a nerd guy. He's passionate about it. He buys into it. That's great. Like that's the kind of person that you really want pouring all of their creative and artistic ability into a composition like this. So I'm excited. We'll see how it ends. As far as my bit about avoiding spoilers and leaks and stuff, I've had this experience twice with different movies. When I was still in Spain for my birthday in summer of 2005, one of my buddies bought me the graphic novel of Revenge of the Sith. And it was a couple of months before the movie came out, or maybe it was before I saw it. I gobbled that thing up. I read it a whole bunch of times, and I was so like anxious and excited to see the movie. By the time I saw it, though, like not only did I know the story, I knew bits of dialogue and everything, and on top of that, I was also comparing differences from the graphic novel to the execution of the script on screen. And it lessened the experience for me. The same thing happened in 2007. I was so hyped for that Transformers movie. To date, I have never seen a movie in theaters more than I have seen Transformers 2007. I saw it 5 times. I bought the graphic novel adaptation. I bought the novelization adaptation. I bought the crappy novel prequel written by Alan Dean Foster. I mean, I was a level 7 susceptible. Like, I bought into this movie so hard. And the same thing happened times 5. When I saw it at midnight, the week that it came out, I already knew what was going to happen. All of the tension was gone. And on top of that, I was comparing certain like narrative differences and stuff that happened between the novelizations and the final product on screen. It completely ruined my ability to just enjoy it for what it was, as it was intended to be presented by the people that made it. The whole point of watching a movie is you walk into it with maybe a little bit of understanding of what's happening. You know a little bit about the cast, you know a little bit about the story, you've gotten a taste of it from the trailer. And other than that, like, no spoilers. Just walk into it and enjoy it, not quite from 0, but maybe from like 9 out of 100, okay? You know just enough to have your appetite whetted and enjoy it in the medium in which it is presented. I saw Batman Begins without having seen a single trailer for that movie. All I ever saw was a poster on the metro stations in Spain, and it blew me away. Like, every surprise, every reveal, I got to witness that from 0. When he jumps into the tumbler for the first time, he's like, I brought my car. He's like, oh crap, like we're gonna get the Batmobile scene. And the next 5 minutes on screen were just pure bliss. My favorite part of that movie. I love the tumbler chase in Batman Begins more than I love the climax of that movie. It's just perfection. And it was so boosted by the fact that I got to enjoy it without any expectation, without any knowing what was going to come next. Like, I was surprised. I want to have that same experience now, 20 years later, with this Superman remake. I've had my apprehensions over the years, is what it is. I'm going to set it behind me, and I'm just going to approach this thing optimistically, and I have a high expectation that I will enjoy it. So if you've seen the trailer, let me know what you guys think. Till next time, drive safe. See you out there.